Hello, I'm Patrick Hannon, student ID 3946576. Use my student ID to verify that. Alright, let's start with question 1, where we're looking at the packet capture file. So when looking at the file capture packet properties, we can see that 3,433 packets have been captured over 9.163 seconds. First, I want to rule out a TCP SYN flood attack, as we can see all the connections are successful. None of them are blacked out. I'd also like to note that DNS, ARP, ICMP, and UDP requests yield no results. So I don't think a HTTP flood attack is occurring either. However, there is suspicious behavior within the HTTP requests, which I'll get into now. First, I just want to look at the IPv4 and TCP connections real quick. We can see that there's slightly more packets being sent in the direction A to B than B to A, but it is not so much to indicate that a HTTP flood attack has occurred. So I believe we can rule that out. Regarding TCP, we can see many connections are made, but as stated earlier, no unsuccessful connections have occurred. So I don't believe a TCP SYN flood attack has occurred. So what we can do is follow the HTTP stream from one of these packets, and we can see that the request looks funny. The URI is obfuscated with percent encoded binary sequences. This suggests that encrypted instructions may be being sent in these requests and that they're not typical of user-driven browsing. And it likely contains a payload or beaconing signal. The user agent is also outdated. It may have been hard-coded. So the obfuscated URI and the GET requests may carry encoded data, and it's a strong indicator of hiding C2 traffic inside a legitimate-looking HTTP traffic request, and this is an indicator of compromise that warrants a full investigation. As I mentioned earlier, no output is received when checking for DNS, ARP, ISMP, or UDP, and as I don't believe it's a HTTP flood or TCP SYN flood attack, this is the only indicator of compromise that I've noticed.